Hey guys, welcome to Isaiah's Reviews, and today I'll be doing a review on a Lit cooler. It is the TS-300, a true 22 quart cooler. So yeah, it's kind of a nifty idea behind this thing, and the idea behind it is it has a ring light across the top, which comes out of that, and you can recharge it. That ring light will stay charged for a really long time, so you might only recharge that thing a couple times a year, and that's kind of it, depending on how much you use it. But you get a rubber gasket seal, a heavy duty hinge, and you get those nylon ropes across the side. It would have been nice to have a handle, but you get the nylon ropes. That's cool. You get the drain plug, of course, and you get, we'll get into this part of it in a little bit, but whenever you open the lid, it lights up LED. And the cool thing is you get the gel packs that run along the corners of the cooler itself, which can act as a pre-chiller to the cooler before you add things to it. You want to give, on these thicker walled coolers, or like the Yetis, you want to pre-chill your cooler, believe it or not. Give yourself 2 hours. Throw a couple gel packs in there, don't waste your ice. Throw a couple gel packs in there to really season out the interior of this, to get the temperature down on the inside before you add your ice and stuff in there, because you do have a period of instant melt in there when it's trying to increase the temperature of the inside of it, and you just don't want to waste your ice or warm your beverages and stuff through that process. So I recommend doing that. You get oversized rubber feet with this, which I thought was really, really cool. I like the idea of lifting the cooler up off of a hot surface as much as possible while still being aesthetic, like look okay. You don't want like freaking big old tall legs and carrying that around. You still want a cooler to be kind of compact as possible, but having rubber boots on the bottom that lift it up off the concrete, the hot concrete if you're at the pool, is a great idea to keep it cool. So kudos. You do get the marine latch, is what they call it. It's like this rubber latching system, which we see across a lot of the competitors of Yeti and Yeti itself, that started this revolution of these thick wall coolers, or at least advertised it the appropriate way and got the business, which inspired everyone else to follow suit at cheaper prices. And you do get an on and off switch in there for the LED light. So if you're using it during the daytime, you don't need it. But if you're camping, fishing at night, and things along those lines, then you can just switch it on and automatically come on and shut off a few seconds after you close the lid. So now that all that goodness is out of the way about the specifications of this 22 quart cooler, let's talk about the top window, okay? And it has a window about yay big, and you can logo that thing out. You can put collegiate stuff in there if you wanted to. You could put corporate stuff in there if you wanted to, and that would highlight. That would glow whenever you shut it, because it does have that few seconds where it's still on. I've used this indoors for about like a week as like a refrigerator. I tried it just with a gel pack. I gel packed for 2 hours, then inserted the corners, 4 corners inside gel ones that they come with, and tried to cool that way in a 70-degree climate, and I could only get the interior down to 40 degrees, which is not cool enough for beverages. And I had to throw some ice in there, and then I got that down to 33 degrees, which is perfect because you're right there above freezing, and that's exactly where you want the interior of that cooler to be, because there's something great about that near frozen drink that just goes down so much better. And also your ice will melt a lot slower. And then the melt time on this cooler, we're at a point to where all these coolers are the same. You've got Yeti, Arctics, which are the cheapest ones available, Lit, now Otterbox. I mean, the list goes, Pelican, goes on and on and on. All these coolers are going to get you within 30 minutes or an hour of the other one over like a three-day challenge, week challenge, 2-week challenges. I mean, after a while, it just gets really repetitive in seeing these comparison videos. Some are drastic, and thank God that those people are dedicated to reviewing these coolers that hardcore, so where you can go in there and see, wait a minute, something's really off about that one before you buy it. That's the cool part, I guess, about it. But this one falls in line with a repetitive group of the ones I just mentioned. And the price you're paying for this is kind of like a full price. You're up there dancing around the Yeti price point, and it's expensive. But the window in the top, now whenever you're in direct sunlight, day at the pool, I ran into the fact that the top third of the inside of that cooler was warm through that window. And that is a huge disappointment in itself, because I'm going to have to take some nylon spray or something like that, that stuff that you would peel off, spray paint, and spray the top, because we had to put a towel over it to get the interior temp down on things that was not actually actively submerged in or around the ice. Huge letdown, okay? Once you get it outdoors in the real world, out of the house, direct sunlight shining down through that window, they should offer a blank, something that snaps down on the top or bottom or something to that to blank that out if you're in direct sunlight. Take it off if you're at night. Why not? It beats throwing a towel over the top. I mean, you're paying a very large price for something that you can't even have in direct sunlight. It's a cooler, for crying out loud. So I hate the window. Everything else about it is awesome. If you're doing nothing but night stuff, if you're doing nothing but camping, yeah, that's great. I like the LED incorporated into that. I like the gel packs that you can use for the pre-seasoning of the cooler if you want to before you add stuff. Personally, I would save those for as long as possible. Throw a couple gel packs of your own in there for 2 hours, then install the 4 corners on the inside and some ice. Grab and go. You won't have to worry with adding more ice in there all day long. You're good all day. It's one of those coolers that'll do the same as the rest of the expensive ones, so that's great. But the top window is its failing grace. Add something to snap down to cover it up. That's it. That's all you got to do. And something that secures it top and bottom to just stop the light from coming in. Just add that. How cheap could it be? Add something recessed in there that would just pop into place with instead of flush mounted, because it's in there pretty good, and you can get to the screws in the bottom if you wanted to, so you could flip it up, take those 4 screws out, I think it is, pull that out. That's how you would get to the plate to make it interchangeable, to put in a collegiate thing or whatever you want, a logo. You might even want to just foam fill that thing up like that and put the top back on with it foam filled from Lowe's, some kind of insulation foam. You could do that too. Depends on what the price of this thing is. I have a feeling that, I don't know, they could go on clearance. If they do, pick it up, fill it with foam if you wanted to or whatever. I still think it's a great cooler. I like the idea of it lifting up off the ground, but as it sits, it just fails on the little window thing, and that's the #1 problem. Everything else works great, isn't it? Sucked that you're testing this out fully, and everybody's like, my drink is a little warm on the top. So eventually we just had to put the towel over it, like I said, so big bummer there. But is it worth the price? Not as it sits with the window, because I think you should just be able to fully use the cooler day and night and it be effective and do the same thing. But that thing, causes the problem. That's the problem. So make sure to explode on that subscribe button and ding that dong so that you get notified on the next beachy reviewy cooler thingy that I do, because I ain't going to the beach pretty soon. I'm going to try to do a lot of on location reviews on some of my favorite items from the beach that were not listed in a previous beach video that I did. So totally excited about that, and that's all I got. See ya.